Hello and welcome everybody to another Minecraft mod showcase. Today we're going to be looking into the Ratlantis mod. This is an add-on for the Rats mod that I showcased a while back. And before we get into it, I'm just going to address some things. Is that one of the newer versions that is released for the Rats mod since my release of the mod showcase has fixed the issue with the rat wheel not producing energy, as well as a few other bugs that I have found. So make sure that you go re-download the latest version because it'll definitely improve your experience with the mod. But today we're going to be talking about the Ratlantis Mod Showcase. So sit back, relax, and let's get straight to it. Now, the first thing we're going to be covering is how to actually get to the dimension, which starts with the chunky cheese token. What you do after getting it is you just right click anywhere and it will begin to spin before engaging in some sort of animation. This is obviously I don't know why I said some sort, but after the animation is finished, a small explosion will go off. It will not break any blocks and the portal will be placed. Now, to get the chunky cheese token, it is around a 1 in 10,000, if I remember correctly, drop chance from normal rats. However, there are some other ways to get it. The first is the aristocrat upgrade. This one will cause any mob that your rat kills to drop the tiny coin. The tiny coin is around 1/721st of the chunky cheese token, if my math is correct, seeing as 9 of these make one of those, 9 of these make one of these, and 9 of these make one of those. But I feel like that would take too long, so I honestly don't recommend that as a method of getting this. Next, of course, we have the Pied Piper. Now, let me just grab a quick weapon from another mod. And the Pied Piper has a chance to drop token fragments, which are 1/81st of the actual token. Now, that time it didn't drop them, but given enough chances, hopefully I can get this to work. There it goes. You saw? Bam. You got one of these. Ignore the rats that had to be slaughtered. But these are 1/81st of the actual token. And honestly, this is definitely a better method, but the best one I would say is Black Death killing. Now, the Black Death has a chance to drop mysterious token chunks, and I broke the portal by accident. So what this does is this will drop something that is 1/9 of the chunky cheese token, which honestly, killing a few of these can't be too hard. Now, of course, I got 2 just then. So you really don't have to kill that many if you actually, want to get this. So, while there are many different ways for you to get the chunky cheese token, I do recommend killing the Black Death, as it would probably be the most fun. And you can also, you can also just kill some of the little rats that spawn everywhere, so you get some free food. And you actually get a chance to be able to obtain the book, the plague book, that allows you to spawn the Black Death anyway. So, and you also get this cool hat. So, honestly, I think killing Black Deaths is the #1 method for obtaining the Chunky Cheese token. Now, when entering the Ratlantis dimension, there are a few things that you're going to notice. The first is a variety of ruins, all composed of marbled cheese, for any of these varieties, really, dotting the landscape with relative frequency. Now, these are also all made of marbled cheese. You can get marbled cheese through crafting, but you can also find it with pretty high frequency in the Ratlantis dimension. There's also marbled cheese, dirt, and grass. However, you can also find normal dirt and grass with even higher frequency than the cheese variant. In fact, these are very rare. I've only, through my explorations in the dimension, I've only seen them a few times, and most of the time around a structure. There's also rat glove flowers, which have a few crafting recipes, such as rat glove petals, making bundles of smelling herbs, and you can also, a bunch of other crafting recipes. That was a weird stutter. There's a bunch of crafting recipes, including just block of rat glove, which is just kind of a compressed thing. It doesn't have any uses. Um, But if you have a lot of it and don't really want to have an entire chest full of it, I guess you could do that. There's also the Ratlantis reactor, which is another block similar to the rat glove block that doesn't really have a use, but you can find it. And I've looked at the wiki and can't really find any use for it, and it has no in-game use that I've observed. So until the mod updates, not quite sure what to do with this. Additionally, when it comes to the underground in this dimension, there are 3 new ores. First off, the cheese ore. This one is the most common. Then there is orichalcum, which is a nice play on words for orichalcum, and then Ratlantian gem. This is the frequency, and this is very akin to diamonds. However, one thing I will note is that you cannot detect these using a default X-ray texture pack. I've tried searching for them to make these easier to find, but the X-ray texture pack that I have does not work for these 3 ores. And of course, there's also a block of orichalcum. The cheese ore gives you cheese, as you'd figure, orichalcum ingot, and Ratlantian gem, the gem of Ratlantis, each of which have a variety of crafting recipes that can be used that I'll get to next. Okay, so I know I said that next would be the items, but because I looked at it and the majority of the items that I had in this materials misc bin are mob drops, I decided I'm just going to do the mobs first. That way I don't have to, say that this is a mob drop twice. I feel like that would take up a little bit too much time. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And I'm actually going to do something special this time that I haven't been able to do before. So, I think it's going to be fun. Now, to help with the demonstration of these mobs, I can now introduce Experiment 3. We don't talk about Experiments 1 and 2. We just don't talk about it. Experiment 3 is an alt that has full prot 4 netherite, sharpness 5 netherite sword, as well as strength and resistance 3. And he'll be going up against all of the mobs that I'll be demonstrating, or rather showcasing. And because of this, I will be giving an overview recording of how it would look from the outside, rather than a first-person view. So, first we have the Ratlantian Spirit. This is something that can be found rarely in the Ratlantis dimension at nighttime, and it will fly around shooting rat spirit flame at you. And when it hits you, it will set you on fire. However, they are really weak and have actually been known to hit themselves with their own projectiles on occasion and kill themselves. However, due to the massive amount of particle effects, it can be quite difficult to see, and I don't recommend fighting it with just a sword. However, when killed, they can drop Ratlantian Spirit Flame, which is an item that will be covered more later. Now we have the Feral Ratlantian. This is another mob that spawns every so often in the Ratlantis dimension, and it will charge at the player like so. It takes a few hits, but has a variety of drops, including the toga, which it dropped in this instance, as well as the rat pelt, feral rat claws, and very rarely the Ratlantian automata head. I have some of the drops in my inventory just in case they aren't dropped by the one in the demonstration. Next we have the Neo-ratlantian, which does a lot of different things and is extraordinarily powerful. It creates little projectiles like that. Like, I don't even know what to call them. I'm being struck by lightning. But it basically strikes lightning everywhere, as well as fires a large number of projectiles from little magic circles. It also can apply the wither effect, the levitation effect, the glowing effect, and strike you with lightning. It also technically has a boss bar, so this is technically a boss, and I do recommend being well prepared for this. However, it doesn't have a lot of mobility, and so it might take a little bit, but it won't be too terrible to fight. So long as you have probably really, really good gear. But when it is killed, it drops the psionic rat brain, which is a crafting ingredient used in a few different recipes. Next we have... Okay, it already died. Next we have the ratfish, which is a fish that spawns really commonly in the Ratlantis dimension. And it basically just drops itself like most fish do. You can eat it, and you can put it in a bucket as well. That's about it. It's a passive mob, but it's really cute, honestly. It's a shame that so many had to die. Next, we have the Ratlantian ratbot. This is a mob that will spawn rarely in the Ratlantis dimension, and will fire lasers at its target. There's not too much else to say about it, other than that it is rather tanky and does cause small explosions. But when it dies, it can drop an iron ingot, as it did in this case, as well as orichalcum nuggets, redstone dust, ratbot barrels, and very rarely the Ratlantian automaton head. Next, we have the pirat. I accidentally spawned two this time, but they are an entity that will spawn in the waters in the Ratlantis dimension. And if I can get them to attack, which they don't seem to like to. They're not okay. For some reason, they're not attacking, but they basically just hit you. They don't really do too much else. Oh, I killed the ship before the rat. That's never happened before. But anyways, when you kill them, they can drop cheese cannonballs, rat pelt, raw rat, a pirate cutlass, a pirate hat, and the boat can also drop planks as well as it can also drop sticks and a black banner that has the white rat and crossbones on it. Next, we have the ghost pirate. This is an entity that is supposed to spawn in the floating pirate ships that spawn in Ratlantis, but as of yet, I have not seen one spawn naturally. However, they simply charge at the player with a sword in their mouth. It is actually kind of cute. But when killed, they can drop ghost pirate ectoplasm, a ghost pirate hat, and a ghost pirate cutlass. Now, next we have the flying dutchrat. This is another boss mob, and it can go through walls and will fire a projectile that is a ghost sword at the player. It will also be cheaty and fire through walls, and I don't know where it went. Uh-oh. Not again. I can't lose another one of these things. I lost one during testing and still don't know where it went. Nice. Found it. Nope, get back here. Get back. You know, I'm just gonna keep doing this. Get back here. No, you need to be in the shot in order for this to be good. Get back. But yeah, this is a boss. This is a especially annoying one to fight, I will say. But it doesn't spawn naturally. I will add that it doesn't spawn naturally, and there on the flying pirate ships there is a dutchrat bell that you have to ring, which will then spawn this. But when it dies, it can drop some ghost pirate ectoplasm as well as the flying dutchrat's ship wheel, and the flying dutchrat's bell is what is used to spawn it naturally. Next we have the rat baron. The rat baron is a plane that will constantly fire arrows or bullets, I can't quite tell what they are, I think they're bullets, at the player, and there is no good way to fight this thing without a bow. However, it is kind of weak. As you can see, I'm only taking a little bit of damage. I am getting knocked back a fair bit. Anyways, So, but it's really, really weak, and one or two arrow shots is enough to take it out. And holy crap, that was loud. But anyways, it can drop the biplane wing, aviator cap, and a whole bunch of auric talcum nuggets, which is going to be very, very useful. And it can be spawned in with the air raid siren, which is found in another one of these structures. And the final mob added in Ratlantis is the Ratlantian automaton, which is spawned in using 3 of any type of marbled cheese, as well as the Ratlantian automata core and the Ratlantian automata head. This is a very, very dangerous mob, and it drops a bunch of really hard to get but powerful items. It attacks primarily by swinging a razor saw blade at the player, but if you get too far away, can also fire some sort of projectile. It's difficult to tell during testing whether it was a missile or exactly what it was. All I know is that it went after literally everything and was annoying to kill in creative mode. So, but in survival it seems to be a bit easier. Then again, the vast amount of resistance might have made that a bit too easy, but what it will drop is an ancient saw blade and arcane technology, which which are two very hard to get but powerful crafting ingredients. Now we can get to the materials. So there are a good few materials or miscellaneous items that are added with this mod. The first being the Skull of Ratlantis. This is crafted with the Golden Rat Skull, Arcane Technology, Psionic Rat Brain, Biplane Wing, and the Flying Dutchrat Ship Wheel. This requires killing all 4 of the bosses as well as just having a rat skull. But it is used in crafting the Avatar of Ratlantis, which we will cover later on, because it's like right there. Next we have the Rat Toga, which can actually be crafted but with a leather tunic with an archeologist rat. And it's simple. It basically is just, a cosmetic for the rats. It's kind of neat. Next we have Rat Glove petals, which are similar to the Rat Glove flowers and the rat block. I think I still have that laying around here. Um, and it's used in a few different things. The Vial of Consciousness, which is used to spawn the Neo-ratlantian by splashing it. Well, I'll get to that later, actually. The Gem of Ratlantis, you can actually craft those. Avatar of Ratlantis, and the Rat Glove block. Next, we have the Feral Rat Claw, which is dropped from the Feral Ratlantian, or can be made out of a rabbit's foot with the Archeologist rat. This is used to make the Vial of Consciousness, a few rat upgrades, the Avatar of Ratlantis, as well as the Feral Ratlantian I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. Bagh-nakhs? Please correct me in the comments, because I know that that's wrong. But it has a really fast attack speed and does 7 attack damage, so I'll have to do some testing with that. Next, we have the Gem of Ratlantis, which can actually be crafted out of rat glove petals and some emeralds, but can also be obtained from Ratlantian gem ore, or by making an emerald in the Archeologist rat. And it is used to actually craft the Flying Dutchrat's bell, despite the fact that you can find this naturally, as well as the Avatar of Ratlantis, some rat upgrades, and the Ratlantian automaton core. Next, there's auric talcum ingots, which are used to make a large amount of armor and rat upgrades, and can be obtained from nuggets or the ore, or from turning a block of diamond into one through the archaeologist rat. The nuggets are just used to craft the ingots, and can be found as a drop from a few of the mobs. Next is arcane technology, which can actually be crafted by turning a beacon into it through the archaeologist rat, and is used in some rat upgrades, some armor, some weapons, and in the skull of Ratlantis. The ancient saw blade is used in the automaton mount, which is actually pretty neat. It requires killing at least 2 of them though, or the rat upgrade separator. And I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this wait, no, that's not what I was looking at. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I know. Okay, this one cannot be crafted by any means, so this is a rare thing. Granted, you would need max 2 of them unless you want more of these, but, still pretty neat. Next is Ratlantian Spirit Flame. So this can be obtained by using archeologist to make blaze powder into it, or just by killing the Ratlantian spirits. It is used in crafting a few weapons, the Avatar of Ratlantis, and the Vial of Consciousness. The psionic rat brain is used in some armor and some rat upgrades, as well as the brain block, which doesn't really have much of a use, and the skull of Ratlantis. And it can be obtained by turning dragon's breath into it with the archaeologist. Ghost pirate ectoplasm can be obtained by crafting the ghost pirate things like the flying dutchrat ship wheel, cutlass, and hat into it, or just from the ghost pirate and the flying dutchrat, or by making it from phantom membranes. It is used in crafting ghost pirate logs, allowing them to be renewable and not just something that is found in the ships, as well as a few rat upgrades, or crafting the respective weapons and armor. Next, the flying dutchrat ship wheel can be obtained by turning a conduit into it, and is used in some rat upgrades, some armor, and the skull of Ratlantis. The Avatar of Ratlantis is crafted from the skull of Ratlantis, a pirate hat, feral rat claw, rat toga, auric calcum ingot, the gem of Ratlantis, rat glove petals, a ratfish, and the Ratlantian spirit flame. That was a lot to say in one breath. And is used in making the rat upgrade nonbeliever, probably the most powerful upgrade of them all, as well as crafting one of these, which can usually only be as like a trade. Then there's some banner patterns that are a paper and a rat skull, and a Ratlantian officer hat and paper, which I'll get to that later. And these are just used as banner patterns. Next, the biplane wing can be crafted from an elytra in the archaeologist, and is used in making some. Actually, not too much. And is used in making the pants, the skull of Ratlantis, and the biplane rat upgrade. The ratbot barrel is obtained from the Ratlantian automaton, but can also be obtained by putting a dispenser in the archaeologist rat, and it is used in making the rattling gun, which I'll cover in a bit, as well as the ratinator upgrade, a charged ratbot barrel, the air raid siren, and the biplane mount. The charged ratbot barrel is made by taking a normal one and surrounding it with redstone, and is used in making the ratinator upgrade. And then we have the chunky cheese token, but I already covered that. I don't know why I put it in this bucket. But anyways, that's all the materials. A lot of them are used to make a lot of things. I do want to quick mention the rattling gun. This is a weapon that you can put a rat in, and then it will function as a sort of automated turret. However, there's no information on how to actually load it anywhere, and I couldn't find any info on it. And seeing as this mod hasn't been updated since October of, I think, a year or two ago, it's safe to say that I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it looks cool, but I'm not exactly sure what it does or how to load it. Because right-clicking it does nothing. There's no inventory that you can access. Even if I had a rat, it wouldn't really work very well. So, not quite sure what to do with this, but it's just something I'd rather mention. Also, there's really no good way to get rid of it either. So yeah, not quite sure what to do about this. Okay, so now we're going to be testing all of the weapons and armor and tools. Now, I did figure out how to get it split screen. Yay me. I figured it out. This is more makeshift though, so it's going to require a lot of well, not a huge amount of editing, but it should be fine. But first, before we even do the weapons, I'm just going to say that the shovel, pickaxe, hoe, and axe of Ratlantis are mainly tools, but I'm going to include the axe as a weapon because of the 14 attack damage, which is one more, I should add, than a sharpness 5 netherite axe. But each of these have special things, like these three, you can break leaves with the axe and not deal durability. You break stone with the pickaxe without durability. Sand with a shovel, and then the hoe tills, it says an additional 8, that just means it tills a 3x3. I'm pretty sure that's not too hard to envision, and so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Anyways, we're going to start with the lowest damage, the Ratlantian bagh-nakhs. Bagh-na- Bagh-nakhs. I am butchering the pronunciation once again, but I'm just going to have my alt right here. Now, my alt, if I go over here, has full prot for netherite. Now, it is worthy to mention that each of these hats, these are drops from pirates. These are dropped from ghost pirates. This is a drop from the um, Baron rat, like the one with the plane. And then this is something that can be found in the floating ships, which I just realized that I haven't actually shown a tour of the dimension itself. So that's going to be next after this. But then I'm also going to have them test the Ratlantis armor against the sharpness 5 netherite axe. So without too much further ado, let's get into it. So it needs to be in survival mode. I forgot. I was so excited when it came to getting the split screen. I kind of forgot that I needed to be in survival mode. But anyway, so full health, and we're gonna see one hit that says 7 attack damage. So we're just gonna go up and crit, and that did about 1. But the good thing about it is that you can essentially just spam click it. So in combat, it's good for people that liked the spam click style, and it doesn't do a whole bunch of damage towards netherite armor, um, but it attacks really fast. So if you're attempting to knockback combo somebody, then this is what you should use. So next, we are going to be testing out the two cutlasses, the pirate and ghost pirate cutlass. The pirate cutlass has a 7.5 attack damage, and the ghost pirate has a 9 attack damage. So once the alt is all nice and healed, um, now we can begin. So the pirate cutlass looks like that. I'm trying to show it off, and it does, even on a crit, only about half a heart. So again, not to, because I'm assuming that at this point you probably have netherite, or if you're fighting another player. So that's honestly not too bad. I'm pretty sure that that's slightly better than a diamond sword, and it's only doing half a heart of damage. Now the ghost pirate cutlass also appears. Oh nope, that does a full heart of damage. So this is where it starts to deal a decent amount. Granted, this is again without any sort of enchantments, but still, I mean, for a baseline weapon, pretty good. And now I'm going to test the Sword of Ratlantis, which deals 12 attack damage and summons a spectral rat that deals an additional 6. So this again only does about a heart of damage, and the rat does essentially none. So this is this netherite. This shows how broken netherite armor is. Now I'm gonna test the bow before the other before the axe to show the damage on this, which is about half a heart per shot, but it fires really quickly. And that one of the shots didn't even do damage, but it does it would do around half a heart of damage per shot. But again, that's unenchanted, so all of these are, except for this, which I'm going to show unenchanted and enchanted. Now, the Axe of Atlantis, 14 attack damage. I'm going to go in with a crit here. That was a crit, and it dealt... Okay, that time it dealt 3. So, it seems to be able to consistently deal 3 hearts of damage. Or, no, not 3, sorry, not 3 hearts. 3 points of damage. Even with full netherite. Now, if I get this enchanted with sharpness 5, this is where the testing becomes more important, because I've actually haven't tested this yet. And so it's going to be interesting to see. Now I do want the ult to be at full health, so that way I can just, you know what? Let's go even crazier. Actually no, I'm not gonna give myself strength 2. I think that would be overkill. This is basically, it can do 17 attack damage maximum to an unarmored target with a crit. This would be enough to one-shot most players that aren't wearing netherite. So let me just eat a golden carrot. And full health. Let's see, how much damage will this do? A heart and a half. It does the exact same. So the sharpness value is negligible. Even with this. So even with probably the most damage that you could do, netherite armor is still pretty decent, I would say. However, now we're going to show how weak the tools are, because what I'm going to have is I'm going to have the alt put on the boots, pants, chest plate, and helmet of Ratlantis. It looks like this, and the little rats, the spectral rats, will protect against enemies. So if I go up, well, it's not dealing damage to me because I'm in creative mode. But if you notice, that says 5 armor, and that says 3, 8, and 6, 10, like 8. Like it's a noticeable increase to the armor, toughness, and knockback resistance. So I just want to make sure that it's at full health though. Hold on. Okay, nice. And ready? This is max vanilla damage against essentially a rat god armor set, and it does. Wait, did I get knocked back? Oh, that's interesting. So this does 4 points of damage. So obviously the protection does do something substantial, but it also knocks back enemies. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enchant all of the armor with protection 4, because that's as high as the commands will allow me to go. And then we're going to see after that how much damage is actually done, because I'm assuming that if you're in a combat situation, you're not going to have this gear unenchanted, seeing as how difficult it is to make it. It requires drops from all of the major bosses, as well as a bunch of orichalcum ingots and the diamond versions of the armor. So I seriously doubt that if you have it realistically, that it would not be max enchanted. So now let's see. Okay, mate. What? Heh. Oh, I just must have broken the block by accident. Okay. Anyways. It does maybe half a heart. I think at one point it didn't even do any damage. And now I'm just breaking blocks because of the knockback and the fact that it's an axe, but still, it's like this is the most powerful vanilla weapon, and it's doing barely half a heart of damage per hit. That shows how powerful the armor is, I would say. It gives a bit of a perspective. And if you hit the... And it's like... And if you're wearing this, and it's anything hits you, then it's just going flying. Like, you know, like Sky Wars with this. With this armor in Sky Wars, and it's just kind of insanely powerful. Like, I don't know, like, hold on. See, look at that. Look at that! Look. Bap. Look how much damage that does. Like, I just wanted to put myself in survival mode to show that, but it dealt, I think that was 6 points of damage. And there's not even any thorns on this armor. If I go near him, it won't do damage, but there's no thorns on this armor. And it hitting it dealt 6 points of damage. This is definitely some pretty overpowered armor. Now, I'd say that we are going to be going into the Ratlantis dimension. So, here we go. Now, the Ratlantis dimension looks like this. It's essentially an endless jungle with an endless warm ocean / coral reef everywhere. Now, in this dimension, you can find ruins like this, scattered throughout the world. Some weird generation over there. I don't know what that's about. As well as most of the mobs listed earlier. Now, some of these structures do have some lapis blocks in them. Others that I've seen have gold blocks in them. And there are a few other structures that can generate, such as shipwrecks, mine shafts, dungeons, and jungle temples, as well as the ocean ruins, which allow drown to spawn. So you can find, there are only a few vanilla mobs that you can find here, amongst which are drowned, parrots, pandas, and dolphins. Now, of the special structures, the first is this. This is the pirat ship, where you can find the dutchrat's bell. Now, mob spawning is turned on right now, and so I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm going to set the time to night. This should help when it comes to things spawning, because a lot of things only spawn at night, but these ships will often have a large amount of loot on them, such as like books, tiny coins, ratfish, and it's made of ghost rat planks. There's also the officer hat, some barrels of fish. There's a bunch of fish or rat themed objects in here, and I'm trying to see if I can find any like, oh, that's rare. I haven't seen that yet. In one of them, I could have sworn I saw a trident at one point. And usually these bars are closed. I've just already been in this one when looking around. But okay, wait, over here, as you can see, here is the Ratlantian spirit. And I'm just gonna show that what would happen when you hit the bell. So if you hit the bell, so for every time you hit the bell on the channel and decide to subscribe, one flying dutchrat spawns. But no, really, don't hit the bell too often, because otherwise these things are gonna be everywhere, and that would get annoying. But anyway, I'm just gonna leave. Oh look, see, there's a feral Ratlantian. Oh, it's growling at me. Oh, it's angry. I don't like that. But the next structure is this little runway, and it has the air raid siren, which looks similar to a fence post with some horns sticking out of it. But every time you click on this, the Baron will spawn. And I didn't know it dropped iron. That's neat. But yeah, now the majority of the dimension looks pretty much the same. As you can see, here's another ship. Another opportunity for you to hit that bell and subscribe, as well as leave a like. But let's see. I'm pretty sure, like, some of the more rare stuff that I've seen in the loot chests here were nautilus shells. I think at one point I saw a trident. But a lot of it is just this type stuff. Oh, look, another automaton head. But yeah, there's not too much to see in this dimension, honestly. There's a lot of fun stuff that you can get, but there's not too much to see. So, yeah, this is it. I honestly think that now I know the mod hasn't been updated in a while, but I think it should be, because this dimension needs a little bit more, I think. like maybe some biomes, something to liven it up a bit more. And maybe prevent the spawning of some vanilla structures. I don't know if that's intentional or not. As well as some of this janky world generation. This is a bit strange. But anyways, enough criticisms. It's honestly really cool. So, now on to all of the rat upgrades. We haven't talked about that yet. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at all the rat upgrades, and today we're going to have Gerald, who will be helping us demonstrate all of the rat upgrades. Now, the first one, Gerald does not get the help, I'm sorry, which is just the basic Ratlantian upgrade, which is just some marbled cheese and an emerald. Doesn't do anything, but you can also get it by turning the basic upgrade into it with the archeologist, which I'll get to in a little bit. And it's basically just a base for a lot of some of the more special ones, such as the feral bite. The rat attack deals 5 extra damage and inflicts the plague and poison debuffs. So, if I was to give this to Gerald, now if I have him hunt monsters, and spawn a zombified piglin. Don't worry, everybody, that wasn't Gerald. Gerald is perfectly fine. That didn't happen. Gerald's perfectly fine. And as I was saying, now that Gerald has a nice shiny diamond helmet and will be on the hunt for monsters, if I spawn in a zombified piglin. Alright, I don't want to be cloning. I don't want to continue to clone Gerald. So, we're just gonna move away from the feral bite, and instead, we are going to put the TNT expert and then buccaneer. Now, it says the rat will explode upon attacking, but not damage the rat, and will not damage allies. And this is because of this. Okay, so they apparently are mutually exclusive. But if I have Gerald hunt monsters and get revenge on those stinking zombie piglins. Dang it, now I gotta clone him again. Alright, so I've cloned a new Gerald, and as you saw, the buccaneer basically had him firing, those, basically like the cannon. It's essentially just a cannon. But now we're gonna have him become the ratinator, in order to properly get revenge on all those stinking zombie piglins. Yes, I believe in you. You can kill them. Oh, you're eating their flesh in front of them. That's how to get revenge. Go, Gerald, go. Kill them, Gerald. Go, Gerald. You have 80 points of armor. You're invincible. Yes, Gerald. Yes, you are a killing machine. Oh, yeah. Alright, and as you saw, the 80 additional points of armor is huge. Now to take it away from Gerald, because Gerald needs to test out some of the other things. Such as the Psychic Rat upgrade, which increases health regeneration and will telepathically attack. So, zombified piglin, go! Okay, well I'll have to make another Gerald clone. I have to make more Gerald clones. But you saw what it did. And that's the point. So, see, this is a Gerald cloning machine right here. That's what that is. Gerald, why are you eating that? You know what? Whatever. Just come here. Okay, good. Good boy, Gerald. Now, ethereal, Suki, and this will allow them to phase through blocks and float into the air. So if I spawn have him hunt monsters and spawn a zombie piglin up here. That may be too far away for him. He doesn't want to bother himself. Is he? Oh. Hunt monsters, go. Oh, see, he just went through the blocks and stayed in the... Oh, what the heck? How would you do that? Alright, whatever. I'm gonna have to continue... Oh, no, I've cloned him too many times. I've cloned Gerald one too many times. It's okay, though. We have a new Gerald. And this time, Gerald will be more powerful because we'll be giving him this. An automaton mount. 250 health. And so yeah, this is the ultimate form of Gerald. Almost. We're gonna make Gerald even more powerful by giving him the nonbeliever, which is 1000 health, 100 armor. It's basically just like a general, complete being absolutely insane. Now, Gerald, get them. Get them, Gerald. Get them. Okay, follow me, Gerald. Follow me. Okay. Follow me, Gerald. Now. Kill them all. We are going... What the heck is this? Oh, rat nugget. Okay. Anyways, so... Now what we're going to do is we're going to test the capabilities of Gerald. I'm pretty sure at this point that Gerald is in fact invincible. And so what we're going to be doing is testing his capabilities. So... What should I spawn in? Hoggle in. Oh yeah, good boy Gerald. Now kill them all! Now kill them all! Get revenge for all my failed speedruns! Oh yes. This is so loud. You can make your rats essentially a god. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, Gerald. Yes. Okay. And then the... What's going on here? Oh, maybe he's... Okay, Gerald's probably a little tired. But I'm gonna have Gerald do one last thing. And that is become an archeologist. So what this does is it researches the held item. And instead of eating it like he is with the rotten flesh, if possible, it'll be turned into an artifact. So, if I was to grab, say, a dispenser, throw that on the ground, pick up all this other stuff, all the rotten flesh that Gerald's eating, Gerald should pick up the dispenser, or at least be handed the dispenser, investigate it, and eventually turn it into a ratbot barrel. Ah! Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Gerald, I'm gonna need this back. Thank you. So yeah, Gerald is essentially an unstoppable god that cannot, that there is no chance of surviving an encounter with. But upon that, that is the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to make sure you never miss a video, because I'm gonna try to upload a little bit more often than I have been. It's been a while. It's been a crazy summer, but videos will be back. I am going to plan to do more. And make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm going to try to do some streaming whenever I possibly can. And who knows, maybe Gerald will be there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Gerald will be there. He might show up. It depends. Gerald shows up where he wants to. I don't think even I can control him at this point. I might want to sleep with one eye open. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and see ya.